Welcome back to another episode, 2-in-1 Golf. Madison and Sterling here. Mike is on vacation this week, but that's okay. Got the OG crew in here, and it's US Open week. So exciting time all the way around. Sterling, I'm sure you're not going to want to talk about it, but we're going to have to talk about it. You had a tournament this week. It was a state open qualifier. I know we're going to get into it, but how are we doing?
I'm doing great. Things are good. I don't know. Golf game is there. It's trending in the right direction. We're 4 for 4 now, going to Wendy's to the State Open, and I don't know. I don't really know what else to say.
Well, so I checked out the leaderboard. I think you finished seventh. Is that correct?
Depends. Depends how you look at it. So for the qualifier, I finished eighth.
Okay.
For the overall tournament, I finished 12th.
Okay. All right. Still pretty positive. So, if you're listening and you're not in the state of Virginia, that's awesome. First off, but if you are, of course, the state open of Virginia held every year. We've talked about Sterling playing in it the last couple years. The qualifying event through the MAPGA, there was it's the Southern Sectional Qualifier. Do I have that right?
The Mid Atlantic Section Southern Chapter Championship. It's nuts.
That's a
It's
mouthful.
insane.
That is a mouthful.
It's Look, I don't know. I wasn't there when they created it, so
My question is, do they have to put that on the trophy? They have to put all those words on the trophy?
no, I think it just says Southern Chapter Championship.
Okay, so I would have been correct. Anyways, so Southern Chapter Championship was held on Monday this week. It was 20 spots got in of the 50 participants that were there. Um, so yeah, congratulations. First off, I wished you good luck. Didn't get a text back. That's fine. That's fine. I'm
I
sure.
was already locked
I'm sure
in.
you were. I don't even doubt it. So I just went about my day until you text me and let me know that you had made it and we're moving on. So congratulations. Looking forward to the state open here in a couple weeks. We're gonna have a
Yeah.
good finish this year.
Yeah, we got 1 month. It's July 19th. Um are you gonna be in town for that?
Look, I told you if we made it through this year, I've got my phone right here. I'm gonna put the dates in the calendar. We'll take some time off from work if we have to get on the bag. We're gonna lock in for the whole weekend. So and I mean the whole weekend. This isn't going to be a 2 day thing. Taking it deep this year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, taking it deep this
All
year.
right. Cool.
So, anyways, Sterling and I actually played golf on Sunday this past week as well, which was a lot of fun. We went down to Virginia Beach, played Bayville. Beautiful course. I've never played there. Sterling, I think, had played there many years ago. Um, Absolute gem down there. Thank you again to Chandler for getting us out there. Really, I do appreciate that. But I'll say, I thought your game looked really good. I know that you said that you weren't extremely happy with it, but your game looked really good on Sunday. I mean, I don't think there was really one part that looked a little shaky. Of course, we were playing a little teams match, and you and I were on a team. And like I've said plenty of times before, I don't know why you would have me as a teammate because our skill levels are not the same, but you carried us most of the way. And yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see the state open this year, especially after your finish on Monday. So something to look forward to, I guess, in July.
Do you want to get into that match on Sunday a little
Yeah,
bit?
yeah, we can get
Maybe just the 17th hole?
the 17th. Oh, yeah, we can get into it. What do you have to say
Do you
about it?
wanna do you wanna explain or should I explain?
No, you can go for it. I'll let you. I'll let you set the stage for that one.
Alright. So we're playing a 2v2 4 ball match play. So best ball, myself and Madison against Will and Chandler. Um, I think they go up like 2 up through 4 holes. In the first hole, Madison thinks that I'm in the hole for a par. I'm actually in for a five. and he's got a par putt, maybe 5 feet away. He doesn't take his time, no practice swing, doesn't line the ball up, and he misses. And they go one up, and he's like, "Oh, I thought you were in the hole." I was like, "No." So that was the start to our day. And then we end up getting the match back to even after 9. Um, we then go 3 down through 14. We birdie 15. We're 2 down. Tough par 3. We have that hole, so we go to 17. We're dormy. And did you have a birdie look? You had a birdie look,
I did.
I
It's
think.
about 40
You had
feet, but yeah, I had a
Yeah.
birdie look.
Yeah, so birdie look. I had a birdie look, but they also had birdie look. So I was last to putt. You missed your birdie. They both had par putts, around the hole. I think Chandler had like a 6 footer, and Will had a 2.5 footer, 2 feet, maybe 3 feet. Who really knows? And you know, we need a birdie to either win the hole or hope Will misses a 2.5 footer. And Madison goes, "Hey, that's good."
Okay, first off, let me get back to this. Okay, so shout out to Will as well. He also played lights out on Sunday as
Okay,
well.
now
He played
now he's playing
he
lights
played
out.
lights out. He didn't miss.
Oh.
He
What did he shoot? What did he shoot? I'm not trying to get my man Will here called out.
I, I can't remember what he said on the ride home. 80, 83.
85.
Okay,
He was putting lights
yeah,
out.
putting. Okay,
I wouldn't
all
say he
right.
was play. Okay.
He was putting
All right.
lights out. Right. Okay, so
Sure.
he he's got a birdie putt. He putts. It just goes past the hole. It's probably, I say, 2 feet. From my view, it's 2 feet, and he's made just some wild putts all day. I can't remember what hole it was. Maybe hole 2 or 3. Just, I don't know. Hits his first putt. It's 6 feet past the hole. He's got this uphill little left to right or third hole. And I'm like, no shot, this is going in. Like this is our opportunity. I think you had a close par putt. Um, I don't think I think Chandler had already missed his par putt. I was like, all right, no shot. Just drills it. I mean, it never left the center of the cup. And I was like, okay, that's pretty good. And it was just like that all day. It was like that all day for him. So he hits his birdie putt. It just goes past the hole. It's a couple feet out. And I have my birdie putt. And he looks at me and he goes, which way do you want me to move it? And I was like, "Oh, it's good." So,
Oh, it's good.
I literally a tap in for him. Ladies and gentlemen, a tap in. The worst case scenario, and looking back on it, I should have just been like, "Oh, you can go ahead and putt out." Because worst case scenario, he would have stepped in my line like that. Not like it would have mattered, but it was a tap in for him.
What's the best case scenario?
He misses it, but highly unlikely. Highly unlikely.
Sure. It's highly unlikely someone's going to win the lottery, but someone wins
I
it.
guess you could have asked him before he hit that putt if he breathes in or breathes out in his backswing. That might have thrown him for a loop, but no, he wasn't gonna miss it. So, anyways, we lose the match, but overall,
My my thing is you have to make them earn it. You can't give them the putt and that just ends the match. You just can't do that. It's like Ricky at the Ryder Cup, Tommy Fleetwood. Ricky hits it in the water, doesn't get up and down, like makes bogey, and Tommy's got like a putt for either par or birdie. But like you still have to like make him earn it. He has to make that putt to win the Ryder Cup.
yeah, but I also think that one was a little more egregious if I remember correctly because Tommy's putt was like over 6 feet and he just gave it to him. It wasn't like what we would consider the friendship circle in most of your casual matches. So it's a little different there. I know the analogy is the same, and just so everyone is aware, Sterling called me Ricky for I don't know, probably the next 5 minutes on that hole while he was, instead of him focusing on his putt, he just kept calling me Ricky Fowler and telling me that they had to earn it. They had to earn it. So completely lost focus. And yeah, it ended there. But
I did not completely lose focus.
okay.
I made birdie on the next hole, which would have tied the match if they would have missed. It's all good. Live and you learn for Madison. So, um, I just hope I get the same treatment when I'm playing against you.
I don't, I, yeah. I usually always just kind of give you most of them, but we also haven't been that close in a match where it would have mattered one way or the other. But speaking of important matches, but important golf as well, it's major week. US Open, Pinehurst number 2. Do you remember the last time it was at Pinehurst?
I sure do. I was there.
You were there. That was Martin Keimer, who won by 8 strokes, 9 strokes, like something absolutely just out of this world. Um, you think we're going to see the same thing this week, or is it going to be one of those 2 over or maybe even get you the trophy at the end of the week?
It's interesting. I don't think we'll see an 8-shot victory. Um, but I still think it's going to be something under par. I think the golf right now being played by the best players in the world is too close. I know Scotty Scheffler has come out on top pretty much every time. Colin Morikawa is playing really well. Xander's playing really well. Bryson DeChambeau on the Live Tour, he's playing very well. Unfortunately, John Rahm withdrew yesterday, I
Hmm.
believe. Um, but I do think the best players will play well, and one of them will be, coming on the stretch on the 72nd hole, needing to make par to win the U.S. Open.
So you're banking on it kind of being one of what I would consider the regulars, the ones that we feel should be in contention every week. You don't think it's going to be like a middle of the pack guy that just has an absolute like catches lightning in a bottle kind of week.
Correct.
I mean, I agree with you on that one. I just think so. There's a lot of courses that reward length. Pinehurst is kind of one of those courses. The fairways are wide; they're pretty generous, but its main defense is the greens. And I think one of the quotes I sent it to you and Mike from Tuesday's interviews, or maybe it was Monday's, and they were talking to Wyndham and they were asking him about the greens, and he said they're borderline. And oh my god, for a Monday, or like I said earlier in the week, they're borderline. I can't wait. I can't wait. That's really the defense of Pinehurst, and that's the level set is the greens. The complexes are extremely difficult. I mean, there's runoffs everywhere. You feel like you hit a great shot, and then you're not rewarded with it. So it's all a good. It's all really going to be short game. It's short game and strategy, I guess. Actually, there's some holes maybe you don't want to hit it down there as far as you can because the approach is going to be a little dicey. So I think it's going to be whoever has the best strategy this week.
Yeah, it's an interesting take. I know when Martin Keimer won, he didn't chip at all. As some of the golf analysts are saying, it's because his chipping was so bad to begin with, and he knew he was going to take putter no matter what. I know they also said that it was a little bit more grainy in 2014. This year, it's not as firm, and the ball sits up a little bit nicer. So I think we'll see like a lot of low check spinners going into the slope and then checking pretty much right at the hole. So I look forward to seeing some of those. Um, I do want to give a shout out. I know we don't like to do this a whole lot, but Grant Horvat and the Bryan Bros. Have you seen their
S-
videos that came out this week?
So I will. I've watched Grant's. So their first 18. I have not watched the second on the Brian Bros channel.
The quality of the video, but also just the way they present Pinehurst in that video is so beautiful. They're playing at like golden hour. It's pretty much sunset. The drone shots are super nice. Like Pinehurst right now, Looks so good. I know in 2014 it was really baked out. They couldn't water the fairways. They basically kept all the water for the greens. But I mean, it's lush, not lush, but it's green,
Hmm.
um, and it looks really good. I do have some news. I know I said in the last podcast that I was going to go to Pinehurst. That is no longer the case. It's Father's Day, obviously. I knew that. But there is a drag race going on in North Carolina on Sunday, and that is where I'll be. It's the right call.
Of course.
I'm sorry to the fans letting you all down. We won't have any live coverage coming from Pinehurst, but it is the anchor site. It will be back within the next 10 years, so I'm sure we'll get a chance to go down there at some point.
Yeah, they were. I saw. I was reading an article and it said that Pinehurst number two is like one of maybe four courses or three courses that has held the most U.S. Opens in the past. I think like I can't even remember what the figure was. So it's definitely a venue that they feel works really, really great for a U.S. Open, and I completely agree. I just I don't know who it's going to be this week, and I think that's the piece that I'm really struggling with. I know we're going to talk about it. You know who we think will who our picks will be for the week, and of course Scotty is the favorite everywhere. And you know you look at his play recently, and I don't know how he couldn't be. Um, but I don't know. I just don't know who it's going to be. I think that you may see someone kind of come out of nowhere and just kind of figure it out and make it work this week. And you know, fingers crossed, maybe it'll be your guy Min Woo. I mean, how
You know who it won't be?
John Rahm.
Oh yeah, obviously John Rahm. I have the odds right here, presented by FanDuel. Shout out FanDuel. Um, what do you think Scotty Scheffler's odds are right now? Give me the plus minus.
Um, I have no idea. Minus what?
It is it is
Oh,
plus.
it is plus. Okay, all right. I'm surprised.
Yeah, yeah. I think the only player that's been a minus something to win a major championship is Tiger at the Masters, I believe, one year. Other than that, it's always been plus. But it is plus.
Okay, what is he at?
I'm waiting on your guess.
Just throw it out there. What is it? Is he the
You
favorite?
throw it out there. No, no, no.
No, is he
Yeah,
the
I know what
favorite?
you're trying to do. You don't want to look like a fool. It's fine. No one cares. We're all friends here, right?
Are we?
Thank you, comments. All right.
Thank you, chat. S-
Let's go to the hotlines.
um, I don't know. Plus 250.
Beautiful. See, it's plus 280.
Okay.
Why are you so worried?
Because originally I was
But
saying
then, man,
minus, but yeah, I'd say plus 250.
yeah, we had to guide you there a little bit. Um, so Scotty at plus 280. And then you got Xander, Rory at plus 1,000. And then it goes Colin, Victor, Bryson, Brooks, Ludwig, and Cam Smith at plus 4,000,
Hmm.
which I think is pretty interesting. Is Vegas watching live? Like, how do they know?
That's a good point. And I would think I'm just thinking. I mean, he plays a lot of sand. I mean, kind of like that sandbelt golf, like in Australia. That's kind of the same. I wouldn't say same style as Pinehurst, but it's very close. So you talk about somebody that may have those shots in their bag on a pretty regular basis. I would put him higher odds than plus 4,000. I would definitely put him higher than Victor, but maybe that's just me. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where they're getting these odds from. If they're basing it off of the live performance. I haven't really heard much from him this year. We'd have to look at his past results. I don't think he's won an event this year though.
Yeah, I don't believe so, but I do think that's a great take. You do see a lot of Royal Melbourne in Pinehurst a little bit, or maybe you see Pinehurst and I don't know, Royal Melbourne, whichever one came first. But that's a beautiful take. I love that. One man I'm sure no one's going to take to win this week is
Brian Harmon.
Tiger Woods. Brian Harmon. Um, yeah, Brian Harmon. No, yeah, I think Tiger Woods, right? I mean, he's walking around with Charlie yesterday, played a practice on Min Woo Lee and Max Homa. See, we could have been. Imagine the scenes. You have Tiger Woods, you have Min Woo Lee, and you have Max Homa.
Yeah.
You couldn't draw it up any better for us. And we just weren't there. That's crazy.
Yeah. So here's the one kind of here's the one asterisk with that. The one thing I think he has going for him. Pinehurst is incredibly flat. It's probably one of the flattest courses they will play. There is very little elevation, if any. I want to say they said is it the 13th hole that may have the highest elevation, and that's like nothing. So when you talk about a level surface for walking, you know, several holes a day. Hopefully, there's no weather. I think it's all out of the way now, and it's just going to be like 90 every day. So I think that could work in his favor, and he does have those shots that he can kind of potentially float into greens or drive it to the front of a green and have it release back to it. He does have those shots. The one thing he's potentially lost with all of the surgeries on his back and on his leg and his ankle and whatever else. I'd have to get his chart in front of me to see all the repairs that have been done, but his hands have still been very good. He doesn't necessarily have the length that he used to, but I do think this would set the best stage for him to make a run at it. Do I think he's going to win? No. I don't think he would necessarily have the stamina for four full rounds. But I do think this is his best opportunity to not only make the cut, but at least maybe even shock the world, maybe top 25.
Yeah, for sure. Because, I mean, I don't see Pinehurst and the USGA letting this tournament championship, sorry, get to anything more than 10 under. So, with that being said, it's not going to be a birdie fest. You can go out there, rip 2 iron stingers down the fairway, place his ball, on the green. He's always been a great iron player. And then, it's flat stick if it gets hot this week. I wouldn't be surprised to see Tiger top 15 on Sunday.
I think it's very doable. The only thing I think would potentially derail that would be some mishits or some shots kind of in that long like wire grass or anything like that. You never really know how that ball is going to come out of there, if the plant is going to stay in there and allow the club to just kind of pass through it, or if it will rip out, and that could potentially cause some issues with the back. But I agree with you. I think if he just sits back and rips 2 iron all day long and just right down the middle of the fairway, I know there's going to be some longer holes, but because I do think there's one par four that's over 500, or maybe it's like five. It'll play five
Like 530.
530 or 550. Yeah, I think that's what I'd heard. But I mean, you could easily hit driver all day, or I'm sorry, 2 iron instead of driver all day. So I think the odds are in
Yeah.
his favor. And I don't think we will have the same issues that we've potentially had before with weather delays and potentially cooler mornings. It's going to be hot. It's North Carolina. I think it's 90, 90, 90, 93, 92. Like those are the days down there. So the body should stay pretty loose. The body should stay warm all day long. This is his best opportunity, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's either here or the British Open.
I just it's tough to say because of the weather there. That's where you really kind of can get beat up by the elements, not so much the course, but the elements. Another, for the most part, typically flatter courses, but potential weather delays, cooler mornings, heavy winds, it just doesn't set up as well for him. But a U.S. Open at Pinehurst is a great, great opportunity for him.
Yeah. Trying to think. Next up, second biggest golfer of our generation, Roy McIlroy. Some interesting news coming out. Um, it's always something with Rory. You know, he goes to the Masters. He's trying to complete the career Grand Slam. At the PGA, him and Erica announced that they're filing paperwork to get a divorce.
Hmm.
And now, with Father's Day right around the corner, he gets a gift. I don't know. Like they've decided to just cancel it. I mean,
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Um,
he said, him and Erica talked and they decided that the best thing to do is to get back together and like be a family. Um,
yeah, it's really interesting, and obviously we're not going to read too much into the personal life of these athletes because
no, let's read into it. I mean,
but it's
let's
it's
just
tough because everything's behind closed doors. It's one of those things where it was very odd to leave um, Quail Hollow and just apply or not apply for a divorce, but serve divorce papers on that following Monday, and then now we're not doing that just because they've had a conversation. So I don't know. It's really interesting. I may
did who interviewed Rory after the Wells Fargo?
I have no idea. Okay, who?
Let's take it. Let's.
Let's take it frame by frame. So
He birdies the 72nd hole to win Quail Hollow by 6. Gets interviewed by Amanda,
yeah,
and that's all she wrote.
yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. There's some rumors out there, but we won't speculate on those.
I guess here's my question with everything, and then not so much the the personal life of it, but does it seem to you that for Rory McIlroy, the focus with him lately has been more on the personal side of him, and maybe it has something to do with the Netflix documentaries that have come out, but not so much his game. It doesn't seem like people are really expecting him to win anymore. I mean, he still goes out and does it, but when he shows up to these tournaments, I mean, he used to be a dominant player. Like it was Tiger for a long, long time, and then it was Rory for a while as well. But now he's just kind of he's there, and he doesn't seem to even really be showing up um, in a lot of the bigger tournaments, in my opinion.
I mean, he's. What is it, like 35, 36? Like he's a little past his prime. Um, I think his perspective has changed obviously since having a child. And he got asked in an interview not too long ago. I think it was this week actually that if you were to tell him at 20 that he was going to have this career, like he'd be super happy, he'd be ecstatic. I don't know, like Rory never really. I guess I'm comparing it now to Tiger and Scotty, current Scotty. He never really dominated like they did, but he was obviously the best player from 2012 to 20 18, 19, 20, maybe just before Brooks. But I don't know. I don't know, man. It's got to be mental. The swing looks great. Putter's obviously always hot and cold, but maybe his head's just not in it.
And that could be. I know that the whole fracture of golf was definitely something that he really kind of got thrown into, maybe unwillingly, but he took that on, and we definitely saw the golf game begin to suffer. So I don't know. I mean, he definitely was kind of he was one of the best that were out in kind of that time, like after Tiger had his long run, and everyone kind of said that Rory would have been the next Tiger. That's what everyone felt. I mean, that's why they had all the Nike commercials together, and it just seemed like the next step. And He still hasn't completed the career Grand Slam. Can't figure it out at Augusta. Just you want to talk mental? It's got to be a huge mental just issue when it comes to the Masters. But I don't know. I think he needs to win another major. He needs to really kind of show up on another big stage to kind of remind people who he is. Right now, everyone, even John Rahm was saying in one of his interviews, like everyone talks about Scotty Scheffler. Like Scotty Scheffler is the best player in the world, hands down. The comparisons when people talk about he's on these Tiger esque runs, like you can say that. Like for a while, like people were like, you don't compare anyone to Tiger. You don't compare anyone to Tiger. But it seems like you can now just with what Scotty's done. And if he comes out and wins the U.S. Open, I mean,
He's got to start winning other majors. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from his career that he's had so far, um, but I think that's the last thing he has. He's got to start checking off these U.S. Opens, the British Open, the PGA. He's got to get at least two of those before he retires to really be considered, top five all time.
I mean, I agree.
All right, let's move on to a little bit more of the field. How early would you wake up to get a tee time in the U.S. Open?
Me personally, or if I was a professional.
Sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You. No, no, you.
Oh, I mean, I'd stay up all night.
USGA calls.
I'd stay up all night.
USGA
Yeah,
calls. Yeah, we got a 6:45. You're going to go off 10 with two amateurs.
yeah, I'll be there. Sign me up.
You'll be there at 6, getting loose on the range.
Yeah,
That's just crazy. Like, I guess this is the biggest field in the majors. I guess first tee time at 6:45, split tees. Last tee time at 2:42. I mean, that's just insane.
how big's the field?
Um, you got the wrong guy.
Okay,
I'm just looking at the tee times, honestly. 120. That's a guess.
okay,
Each group has 3, and there's just a lot of tee times. I don't know what you want from me.
all right, that works.
While you're looking that up, I'm gonna rant a little bit. I don't know if this is Golf Channel. I don't know if this is NBC. I don't know who I'm talking to. Someone's got to figure out a better way to do pre-tournament coverage than just them talking and like showing players on the range and on the putting green. Like, set it up to where we can pick a hole and just watch. You don't need to have a cameraman moving the camera around. Just set it up wide angle. You have the technology. You have the bandwidth. Just, I don't want to see Scotty Scheffler, even though he's the best player in the world, at 4 p.m. They're showing a rerun at 4 p.m. of him putting on the putting green. Like, why?
I mean, I agree with you. I think the worst part of any tournament is one, you've got to pay to see anything early, which I think is absolutely wild. You've got to pay if you want to watch some of the early groups go off. So if your favorite golfer goes off in the early morning wave and they don't pick up coverage until 2, odds are you aren't seeing anything. You're seeing highlights, or maybe you're catching a couple holes on the back nine. And then I mean, I agree. The live from, oh, I mean, some of it is good stuff, but like they just taught it's the same
Someone
thing over and over again.
someone clip that and send that to me.
It's the same thing over and over again. I just there's not that much they can talk about. I get live from one day ahead of time.
That's the thing. They don't have to talk. Just show us the golf. We don't need to. No one needs to say anything. Maybe get us a mic on the tee box so we can hear the caddies. Like, we don't need any of the analysts. It's fine if you want to go live. You can do live from 8 to 10, but then just keep the cameras going from 10 to 4, and then do live from again from 4 to 6. Like that's fine. But like you said, it's just a rerun. It's the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
We've seen the balls hit the greens and then roll off. Like we don't need to see that.
Oh my god. That's the one thing the one thing that drives me crazy about any major week, but especially the US Open, is everyone dropping balls either on the green and watching them roll off, or dropping the ball in the rough and be like, "Oh my god, look how deep this rough is here. This is going to be a major factor." Because it's not just Golf Channel; it's every person that has a camera that can get on the grounds and inside the ropes is taking a video of it or taking a picture of it and posting it out. That's literally just the feed: ball and grass, ball and grass, ball and grass, on the green, off the green. I can't do it. I can't do it. Find a different angle. We know it's gonna be tough. We hope that it's tough. Wyndham Clark
We're
saying
expecting it.
Wyndham Clark saying that it was borderline early in the week. I wanna see it on the edge. I wanna see it on the
No,
edge.
no, no, no.
I want them in their post round interviews being like, "I don't know if it was fair." I want it on the edge, but I don't need to see it every day.
I don't think you want on the. You don't want Phil Mickelson running after a ball, hitting it back up the hill. You don't want John Daly doing the same thing and then quitting. 5 minutes later. You don't want to see clown golf. You want it to be fair. You want them to get punished if they hit a poor shot. You don't want to see them lose the golf course.
Well, I
Um,
didn't say lose. I said I want it on the edge. I want the players playing the right shots to get rewarded. That's let me just say that. The ones playing the right shots, the right times, the right angles, I want them to get rewarded. I'm not saying that if you put it on the green anywhere, it's gonna roll off. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see a bunch of, bunker to bunker kind of situations. But I want it to play tough. That's what I want from a US Open. I would love to see the winning score no higher than 5 under. No higher than 5 under.
I think I'd like to see 10. I'd like to see someone go out, shoot like 68, 67, 69, 70, and like win it at 7 and 10 under. If look Sunday, they all need to be either backing up or going forward. I don't want to see a par fest on Sunday. Scotty's got a 3 shot lead, and the course is playing so tough. No one can catch him.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I would like to see it. I don't know. I mean, when do you make it tough? I guess is the question. Do you set it up a little bit more difficult Thursday and Friday? Does it bake out a little bit more? Do you stop watering Tuesday and see how it goes Thursday, Friday, and then if it is on the edge, you throw some water on it over the weekend, or Thursday, Friday, do we stop watering, or do we stop watering Thursday? And then come Sunday, it could just be absolute Armageddon out there. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not the
I
USGA.
think you. I'm hoping they stopped watering Tuesday. I don't know if you can water in between Thursday and Friday. I feel like throwing water on that golf course, a lot of water is going to change it so much. Then it's really going to come down to your draw. Like a Thursday afternoon into like a Friday morning draw could be very no, never mind. I think Thursday morning, Friday afternoon
Hmm.
would be beneficial if you threw water on the greens Thursday night.
Yeah.
So I think you just leave it, make it difficult Thursday, Friday. Take a look, see where we are. You give these guys 2 rounds. If someone's got a huge lead, I think you throw water on the golf course, you tuck some pins, you make it like you said fair. So maybe someone can make a move on Saturday, and then Sunday you let Pinehurst be Pinehurst.
I mean, I agree. I agree.
Cool. Let's get into some picks. Um, what are we thinking? Dark horse, normal pick, amateur.
So, player, dark horse, and then amateur. All right. Let me see. Let me pull up the list here. Oh, I think I do know who I'm going to go with for my amateur.
Okay.
I'm going to go with I'm going to go with Neil Shipley. Neil Shipley, if you remember, was the low amateur at the Masters. Had that kind of awkward interview in uh, Butler's cabin when they were asking him if Tiger handed him a note or something or some interaction, and he was like, I don't know what you're talking about." Um, I'm gonna go Neil Shipley though. That's gonna be my amateur this week.
Let's also like do a Mike pick. I know he's not here right now, and who knows, he may add something to the end of this podcast with his picks. But until then, what would like who would Mike take? I'm gonna take Luke Clanton.
Oh, I'm surprised.
I just like YouTube personalities, I guess, because he did some stuff with Good Good. I know him. I don't know him, but we know of him. We know a little bit about him from YouTube. Florida State player. What do you call it when someone's this is a Florida State athlete? I guess Florida State golfer.
Hmm.
I was gonna say like alumnus, but he's not alumni. So yeah, give me Luke Clanton. Shout out Ben James, UVA. Danny McCarthy, UVA. That's pretty cool. They're playing together. Um, I think I know who Mike would take out of these amateurs,
Yeah.
and let's just say it at the same time.
All right.
Mike, this is how well we know you. Shout out to us, I guess. I'm 100. I'm 99% sure we're gonna say the same name. Here we go.
All right.
Three, two, one.
Gordon Sargent.
Gordon Sargent. Yeah, I mean it's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. He's definitely has the game. He went back for his last year at school. He easily could have come out on tour. I don't know where he would have finished out on the what do they call it? The Tour U, or I'm not sure what it
PGA Tour U.
PJ Tour U. Yeah. So um, they gave that to Thor Bjornsson, was the top person on PJ Tour U. So of course he has gotten his PJ Tour card now. So I don't know if that's the reason Sargent went back for another year, but he definitely has the game. He's got the length. I think he's got all the shots. Um, it'd be interesting to see how he does at a U.S. Open setup. I mean, I'd love to see what do you do here, but yeah, that's easy Mike pick there.
All right. My dark horse. I'm gonna go Akshay Bhatia. Give me the lefty. Give me the man with the great hair.
That's not a dark horse. That's not a dark horse. All right. No,
Okay.
take it.
How dark do you want to get?
I mean, Akshay he's won before. I wouldn't necessarily say he's a dark horse.
Yeah, but no one's picking him to win the U.S. Open this week. That's fine. I'll
Okay.
go even darker. Um. Oh man, Stu Hogestad's in the field. That's a miss on me. That's my fault, Stu. Didn't see you, brother. Matt Kuchar's in the field. Wow.
He
How the
qualified.
heck did he get
He
in?
qualified.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't remember. Did he qualify in Ohio? I don't know. So I don't know if you watch it. I'm sure that you don't, but they do the that Monday
Longest day of golf
longest
or
day of
whatever.
golf, and of course you get to see some of the professionals that are out there grinding, trying to get out there. And Matt Kuchar won one of the spots.
Hmm. So if I took Kurt Kitayama, are we saying that's not a dark horse because he won?
No, I mean I'd say he's probably a dark horse.
Like Jason Day?
No, he's not a dark horse.
Wow.
I
Okay.
don't think he is.
I don't know. I just like if they're not like a top 30 pick, I think they're a dark horse. Hmm. I know who you're gonna take.
Who?
Harry Higgs.
I'd like to take. Like to take the big rig, but I'm not going to. I'm going to actually take one of his Corn Ferry brothers out there, Tim Wieding from Sweden. He's won 2 times already on the Corn Ferry Tour this year. Um, and he's got a really really good game as well. He is in the field because of the success he's had on the Corn Ferry Tour. So I'd like to see him continue doing well. But yeah, gotta hope that my man Harry Higgs gets in 2 wins. Last win was in a playoff, and then he went to qualify for the U.S. Open and won that in a playoff as well. So shout out to Harry Higgs. Hope he has a great week.
All right, my dark horse. This player has been playing really well. I feel like he kind of shows up randomly in the big events. Give me Aaron Rye.
Oh, two glove rye. Okay,
Yeah,
all right,
sure.
I like that one.
And then we'll give Harry Higgs to Mike.
Yeah,
Are we cool with that?
yep, yep. I like that. I think you would. I think you'd appreciate that. All right, lock in now. This is your pick to win. Who is going to be holding the trophy on Sunday? Hopefully, no higher than 5 under.
Do you want a real pick or like can I take Min Woo? I'll go real. I'm really hoping Min Woo plays well this week, but a legit real pick who's not Scotty Scheffler is Colin Morikawa's putting good enough for him to win a U.S. Open at Pinehurst? Hmm.
We've had our
Well, I'm gonna take him. I'm gonna take Colin Morikawa. Why not?
we've had our conversations about Morikawa's.
He ain't a
He ain't
dog.
got that dog in him, but maybe this will be the
This
week.
is the tournament. If you think it's gonna be 5 under, he won't have to go out there and take it. He can get to 6, 7 under, maybe coast, make a couple bogeys coming in,
Yeah, no,
and be just fine.
I definitely think he could. All right, so I wasn't. This is dicey. This really is, but we talked about it earlier, and the more I've been thinking about it, the more the more confident I feel, or the better I feel about it. And I don't know where his game is right now. If I'm being completely honest, I'd have to check some of his past results. But I think I'm gonna take Cam Smith. I don't know what it is. Like I said, I think that style of golf, that sort of sand belt style of golf, that Australian look and feel to it, where if you're not hitting in the right spot, you're definitely getting penalized. You've got to put the ball in the right spot. He's got a great short game. We already know that. And I'm gonna take the risk this week, and I'm gonna go Cam Smith.
Not a bad pick. Not a bad pick at all. I know you're a big fan of Penguin. Does he still wear Penguin?
I don't think they do. I think they wear team gear. I don't know if it's Penguin sponsored or not. It's the Rippers gear only. So
Yikes. All right, and then Mike is gonna take Sahith Theegala.
his man Sahith. Yeah,
Wait.
I don't.
Oh, you see this Molinari guy? Is that Eduardo? Am I tripping? Is that how he spells his name?
Yeah, EDO. What is it? EDO.
ARD.
Yeah. Yep.
He qualified for the U.S. Open. Also, shout out to Robert Rock. He also qualified for this thing.
Yeah. I guess he did.
This tournament's underrated.
Both of the Molinari brothers are in the tournament.
Man, the U.S. Open is underrated for a major championship. It's really unfortunate that it has to compete against the Masters and the British. Like the history of the British Open and obviously Augusta being Augusta, like you're not gonna the US Open will never be number one or number two.
Yeah.
But man, it doesn't get talked about enough in the major championship space, in my opinion.
Well, I know you weren't a fan the year that Matt Fitzpatrick won. That was not your U.S. Open champion, and you let us all know that. So maybe that's why sometimes the shadows get cast over the tournament overall. But um, one person that's in the field this week that you haven't heard anything really from, I want to say for the past 2 years. Let me probably about 2 years.
Can I guess?
Yeah, you can guess.
Can I get a hint?
Um, he's got a really funky swing.
And it's not Matt
It's
Kuchar.
not Matt Kuchar or Jim Furyk. I don't think Furyk's in the field.
Really funky swing.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, I see him. Is he young?
I don't know how old he is.
Ish.
He's youngish, yeah.
Potentially an amateur a year ago.
No,
Okay, not Sam Bennett.
no. I'll say golf was not his first sport. That was not his first sport. So that has something to do with the way he swings the club as well.
That did absolutely nothing for me, but I appreciate it.
Gives you a little
Um,
backstory there.
wasn't his first sport. Morning or afternoon wave?
God, I gotta look at this wave. Let me see. Morning wave.
Okay. Is he a household name?
He used to be a couple years ago. He was one of the young guns a couple years ago. Was making some noise. Uh,
Wow.
had an injury.
Big booty burger.
Yeah, Daniel Berger in the field qualified through the qualifying series, the longest day, and you know, interested to see what he can do. Um, I don't know what his status is on the tour. I don't know if he's playing kind of on major medical um, exemptions right now, but yeah, played his way into the U.S. Open. I think he won his site, if I remember correctly, or at least was up there. So really interested to see how he does this week because, like I said, he had the game back then. He wasn't, he wasn't like on a Scotty run by any means, but when all the kind of that young wave of players came through, he was one that definitely stood out and played really well. So really interested to see what he does.
Yeah, that's a good call there. Um, anything else from the U.S. Open? I mean, we're going to be back next week with a recap of the U.S. Open. Um, interesting, Madison, if you want. TrackMan has put Pinehurst number 2 on TrackMan. So it's pretty cool. We watched someone play it today. We set it up for him. We put the greens on 12 on the stimp.
Oof.
We kept the wind calm, fairways firm, greens firm, and then like Sunday type pin locations. Um, it was pretty spicy, as Chandler likes to say. Um, yeah, it was just really funny. Like the ball just wouldn't stop. He's hitting chips, and then the ball just keeps going. So, if you have a TrackMan facility simulator anywhere nearby, TrackMan not a sponsor of the podcast, but go and check it out. It was pretty fun to see. I'm going to give it a chance. Or I'm going to play it at some point this weekend and just kind of see what I shoot.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see. That's pretty cool that they added it on there. But yeah, exciting things to come this week. I think we'll really kind of get an idea of how everything, or I think we'll get an idea of kind of where they'll be able to take it this weekend, over Thursday and Friday. If they come out tomorrow and everyone's struggling out there, there's a lot of over par rounds. I think we're going to get the U.S. Open that maybe we want. But if we go out, if you know, the, f- by 2 o'clock, there's people that are 5, 6 under. I don't know if it's going to be what we're expecting there, but it'll be interesting to see nonetheless, and I can't wait.
All right. Any shout outs or anything else non US Open related you want to, throw out there?
No shout outs, really. Well, shout out to Bayville again, Chandler, for having us out. It's fun time for sure.
Why did we go to Bayville? Why did we go so far away?
You booked it.
Okay, I know I reached out to them, but like what was the reason we played golf?
You didn't want to just play golf because we were hanging out. No,
Did is the putting green
The
finished?
putting green is finished. So as everyone is aware, it is Father's Day.
We on your laptop right now?
Yeah, we're on my laptop. It's dark outside.
So we're mobile.
It's dark outside, and clearly the
Oh,
internet
I
is
thought you had
spotty at best.
I thought you had spotlight shining down on it.
Not yet, not yet.
Not yet. I was gonna say we'll get her on that.
So with Father's Day coming up this weekend, and we will actually give a shout out to that. My wife actually put together this kind of surprise, which Sterling was clued in on, and is why he had to take me so far away because while we were gone, she installed a nice new putting green. So we'll get some work out there. But already did a little bit of chipping out there as well. But yeah, thanks for that. It's awesome, and definitely needed. I think it's actually kind of a ploy, so I'm not at the golf course as much. It's like I'll just bring the golf course to the house. So I'm sure we both went on that one. But my point, now that you've reminded me, shout out to all the fathers out there. Happy Father's Day this weekend. Hopefully that you get a chance to get out and play golf, spend some time with your family. Sterling, I know you'll be at the track with your father as well. So and Mike at the beach with his family now.
Yeah, I'll give Danielle a shout out. Just a great idea. She reached out to me a month ago, playing the whole thing. Come to find out, it wasn't even a surprise at the end of the day. Um, or it was at some point, but then by the time we went to go play golf, like he already knew.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to Danielle. Shout out to the Boston Celtics. I don't like the Celtics. I'm a Lakers fan, so I guess I kind of have to hate them. But they are tearing apart the Dallas Mavericks. It's not looking good. I mean, the finals is basically over. Currently, it is Wednesday night, the day before the U.S. Open starts. Game 3 is on. Mavericks go up by 10. You think it's going to be, a blowout favoring the Mavericks? No, I mean the Celtics go on a 15-0 run. The current score is 50-51 at halftime. The Mavericks are leading by 1. Um, again, shout out to FanDuel. I got the Mavericks winning by 5.5. So we'll see. I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna sweat this out. But yeah, shout out to the Celtics being up 2-0. Um, hmm. Shout out to Alcatraz. Shout out Carlos for winning the French Open. Cashed out on that. Um, what else is going on? NHL. Give us a little NHL update. I know it's more your thing.
No, it's not. I watch the NHL, but I don't really follow that much. Any
I know the
teams?
I know the
Yep, the
Panthers
Panthers are in it.
and the Oilers are in it. Last I checked, the series was 1-1, but I know they had a game last night. Who won that game? Oh wow! I mean, I thought you were at least a little bit of a fan.
I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it, sir. Shout out to Brooks Koepka. Might maybe does he have partial ownership in the Panthers team, or is he just a big fan? Boop, boop, boop. Nope, no game last night. Game tomorrow. Game 3, Florida currently leads 2-0. So
Wow, never mind. Was there a game?
Monday.
Okay, just not that. Okay, that works. Um, but yeah, here we are. Trying to think. YouTube video, the Max Fly video is doing very well. We are doing a giveaway. Once we hit 500 subscribers, we are well over halfway there now. I think we're at like 310. We're trying to get to 500. We're doing a giveaway. 48 Max Fly
Torex.
Tour X. Tour X.
Yep.
Golf balls being given away to one of our subscribers. So make sure you subscribe, like, and comment for your chance to enter and win. We also came out with a new putter review on Saturday. The Meridian Tie B
Correct.
mallet putter. Very beautiful looking putter. One thing that Madison didn't mention in the video is that the putter Meridian, they go to tour events. They let the tour players test it out during the practice rounds, obviously. And then once, it leaves the tour event, they then put it on their website for sale at a discounted cost. So Madison got the Thai B for like $100 roughly off, and it was technically tour issued? Question mark.
You-
It was on tour at one point. Now it's in Madison's bag, which is nuts because in the video, if you watch it and you listen, Madison goes, "I'm putting well," but even though I'm putting well, I still like to tinker, which is a wild statement. But it's kind of cool. It's in his bag. It looks great. It feels really solid. So check out that review if you want to learn more. Check out meridianputters.com if you want to, order.
They will
Um,
also be at Pinehurst this week. So if you have tickets and you're in I think it's the 1895 club, they do have some putters there. There's a little putting green behind it. You can test out some of their putters as well. So if you're there, snap a picture and tag us in it.
awesome. Well, good luck to Minwoo Lee. Good luck to Sahith Theegala. Good luck to Max Homa. Not really. But other than that, thank you all for tuning in and listening to the 2-in-1 Golf Podcast. This is episode 65, our US Open preview show. Make sure to check us out on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, all at 2-in-1 Golf or 2-in-1 Golf Podcast. And we'll catch you all next week for our US Open 2024 Pinehurst number 2 recap. Take care.